Let's go.
How y'all doing? We got your boy Chadwick. We got your boy Meck here. You know how we all doing here tonight. We like to chill. We like to crave. We like to do our little thing. We like to draw shit out for you guys. We like to do little stupid shit here. You know what? So let's talk about food trucks, our old businesses, and shit like that. We do a bit of everything. Talk about stupid shit going on in life, even like guns, you name it, anything. Anyways, Chad, how the fuck are you doing tonight? Like, what's on your mind tonight?
I'm doing good, man. Phillies just won 2 games in a row. Today they won, which is like pretty good on the 21st of May. It was like they pretty much have been on Friday they lost 8-0 to the Cubs, and then past 2 days they just destroyed them. So I'm feeling good wearing my Phillies shirt at the moment. Um, I like the Phillies, man. The Phillies. I don't follow it hardcore, and I don't know all the players' names, but I just enjoy watching the game. And uh, there's a big home run today where one of the players, uh, he got 2 points, and that pretty much won the game for the Phillies. Off of this one guy's home run. I was watching some stuff about how they make baseball cards, and I thought that was kind of interesting where they have a photographer come to the stadium, and they take photos of the different players, and then they put them on like tops cards, and some of the baseball cards are selling for like around $100,000, just like just because the players are good, and it's like ridiculous to see like a baseball card that you make for 20 cents, but people will buy them on like eBay. They'll be selling these cards from tops for over $100,000, and I think man, we got to get our own cards, the Chadwick and Meck card at some point, so we can uh, trade our cards out there with people or something. We're artists,
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
that'd be pretty dope. um, yeah, we came up with some art for everybody listening. I made myself this green arrow. That was the challenge from Meck last time. This is all right. So I just drew this, and it's really bad. It's pretty bad, but this is
Yeah.
look at my hair. I mean, dude, I don't know. I did that in like 3 seconds. I figured
Even fair, mine's probably worse.
that's you as Thor, right? With the
Yeah, me
hammer.
as Thor. I tried drawing me as like
Your hammer looks.
Thor,
Your hammer does not even
and
look like a hammer, to be honest. It looks like a. I don't know,
it's a pretty bad hammer.
like a.
Looks more like a dick to me,
Yeah, that's what I
but
was thinking a little bit. um, so we did it.
I sucked at drawing that one.
Yeah, we completed the challenge. That we did it. We we're getting in these drawings, and let's talk about drawing for a minute. And in your history of drawing, like when did you first like start really like thinking drawing was a cool thing to get into, or do you even know?
To be honest with you, I really don't know, honestly. Like, I think it was like, for me, coming down to visit my brother in PA to, I think it was like Jersey or Delaware or something like that. I can't remember which state, but like, I remember drawing this whole entire ship out on this like whole entire big piece of paper that was like, I don't know, it was like huge, and I
Like
drawn it out like
like size wise, can you
literally picture.
like
No, picture your blanket behind you.
that big?
Yeah.
No way. You had a piece of how did you like on a piece of paper like that size or what?
Yep.
Dang.
Not that big, but like literally like little wider and
Hmm.
like big and jolky, and
Hmm.
literally I had like the pillars like straight up like correct, and then I started to draw the whole entire ship just like perfectly all rounds and everything like that, pillars and pillar, and even draw to like 76 on it, and I was like, damn.
Yep.
Like my brother said, like, that is just dead on. I see the pillars and everything. He was like, Super impressed.
Yeah, I know. I know. We just drew these up in like a second right before we started this podcast. But like you, obviously, Meck here's got some way better art, and as you've shown. But I think you might have. I mean, we definitely talked about the boat, the U.S. Boat before that you drew from the your brother's was in the uh, is or was in the U.S. Navy, and it's badass that you drew that. Got the American vibes going to it. And also, by the way, it is the weekend of this weekend. All of the players at the Phillies games were wearing like marine colored green caps with American flags on them to support the armed forces in the USA. So we should definitely give a shout out to all the armed forces keeping our nation strong. Appreciate
Hell
you
yeah,
all.
dog.
Yep. Um, yeah, the ship that you drew was one of the oldest ships in the Navy. I think you said. Was that right? Or
Yes.
yeah, it's one of the
One of the
oldest.
oldest ships.
Still, is it still in service? Do you know that ship or?
Yes, it's still in service.
Yeah, that's what's good. Have you ever been on a U.S. Navy ship before?
Yes, sir. My there was like a family trip that we took on one big Ike ship, and we were all out on the ship, and we were only allowed on the top deck, but like in the interior and whatnot,
Mm-hmm.
only the military people were allowed to go in there and go to their Ikes and whatnot. My brother lets us a few times, be like, alright, gotta go do this, blah blah blah, and yeah, we went down for like a family thing. I forget what year that was, but yeah, no, I've been on a military ship before.
Hmm. That's pretty
It was
sweet.
pretty cool.
Yeah, I've seen them from. I've seen them in like the Philadelphia area. There's like some old ships that they don't have in use anymore, and it's just cool to look at the big giant ships. They're like the size of a stadium almost. Now they're just huge. They're like it's like I can only imagine, being out on the water on one of those things, and like if you're in battle with another ship, it would take probably more than one shot to destroy a ship. Just because how big they are. You take those ships can take a hit, and then they can take another hit, and they can still be floating in the water because they're just so big and built so strong. Uh, it's ridiculous. So,
Yeah, man. When I was trying to join the Navy Coast Guard, I was trying. I mean, when I was trying to join the Navy, I was trying to join the Coast Guard, and honestly, I still say if I were to join, my dumbass brother felt like he owed it to our uncle, and I still stay from this day forward. If it wasn't for me, my brother wouldn't have joined a fucking Navy.
well, so you were considering joining, and you decided. Did you just change your mind, or
I tried twice. I tried doing it twice, dude.
what do you mean by
I tried
try?
high on my knees. I tried high on my knees. I quit smoking weed. I I did everything I could, and they were like, "Nope."
Hmm. Yeah, I've never.
And yet, my brother took all my dream jobs just away from me. Just took it down from my hand and just yanked it away from me. And he knew what I wanted to do for a living, knew what I wanted to do, and we don't even talk anymore, and that's the bad part.
Hmm.
He just took my dream jobs and went else, and I'm just gonna leave it at that.
Yeah. To me, like I never really felt myself as being like a military guy. Look how like bony and skinny I am. It's just like I just don't feel like I'm really built to be in the military. How I'm built in terms of my body type. So I support our military and everything, and the Navy and everything. It's just I don't know. I feel like I'm not exactly built, is what I'm saying. So it's ridiculous. Um,
I understand it. I was at the time, and now I'm not, but I kind of just gave up.
what are your ambitions right now? You thinking? I mean, what are your dreams right now? You got any dreams to build anything, do anything?
Right now, to be honest with you, I'm just trying to stay alive, trying to look for the next better job. Hopefully Monday I hear back for this buzzer job that I hopefully got from my buddy Tony that I used to work for, and yeah, hopefully I got that going for me. But right now it's kind of been hard. Like last night, after them talking to you, I applied to like probably 20 jobs on Indeed.
Hmm.
So I don't know. I'm trying
Yeah.
to.
For Yeah.
Excuse me.
What do you think about Indeed? You just go on there and you already have like what your resume is already filled out. You just click a button and it's like you applied basically or something like that.
Yes, sir. Every place I've gone through, even like from traveling from PA to Virginia, learning the day I got to Virginia, I got a job right there. So honestly, anybody that wants to try Indeed, especially a really good resume, and please work on it before you try to do anything stupid. It's like put something stupid on there. Like a resume makes everything different. But literally, for me, I traveled from 2 states, from actually 3 states. I went from PA to Virginia. I went from Virginia back to PA, and then for PA to Florida. So, like, yeah, I traveled, and I was able to get a job like 2 days later. Literally, 2 days later, bro.
You thinking like the food industry is your style? You like the food? You like doing stuff with food in general? Or
Yes, sir.
that's what I figured. Yeah, for me, like
I,
yeah.
I, I didn't apply for an overnight hotel job. Not what I kind of want. It was like $50 an hour, and hopefully I get it. And asked for how many years of hotel experience do you have, and I was like, one. And I was like, it didn't ask me for what I was doing, but I did work at a hotel doing dishwashing. But I was like, screw it, I'm putting 1 year. And then it asked me like, how many years of night experience you got? I was like, 6. Because I've been working nights my whole entire life.
Yeah, the last
So
job
hopefully I got it.
actually the last job where I actually had a job like an hourly paid wage job was at UPS, and I guess like I could talk about that for a moment and how that was. It was like I would go in at maybe what was it like 3 in the morning, or they would switch up the times, and I would go in sometimes 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning, and I would work till like 7 or 8 in the morning, and basically how it worked was I would walk in, uh, I'd have to go through a security check, and they'd make sure, I wasn't. I'd have to go like through a security check where they made sure I didn't have any like weapons or anything on me to get into the building. Walk into the building, and there's just UPS trucks everywhere, like big UPS trucks, and like a huge conveyor belts, and like a huge facility. It was really beautiful, multi-billion, like the UPS is like a multi-billion-dollar company. But so like just seeing like hundreds of UPS trucks lined up inside of a giant, like huge stadium-like building, and I would walk over and I'd have to clock in. So I had been given like a card where I would had a number on my card, and I would use that number to log into the computer. And right after that, I'd go over. They assigned me to the belt, so I would be assigned. They'd have different colored belts that people would be assigned to, like green belt, black belt, yellow belt. I was assigned to the green belt mostly, and I would go over to this belt, walk up, walk up this small staircase, and once I walked up the staircase, there would be this line of that I would walk onto this line, and on the one side of the line there were trucks lined up, one after another, and each truck had its own number, like 1 through 100. And on the other side of the line that I'm walking on, there would be like there would be a conveyor belt that was dropping down boxes into this like funnel. They would funnel down into this like area where I would like they would just pile up from the conveyor belt, and they were coming off of the trucks way far away. So they would come off the like big like one of those big giant trucks. The 18 wheelers would pull in, and they would take the boxes off the 18 wheelers, put them onto the conveyor belt. The conveyor belt would bring them up, shoot, and then they would come to my line, and they would shoot down onto the place where they're piling up that I'm talking about. And I would be assigned to a truck, like truck number 10, and I would have to grab the boxes when they would come down. They would all be numbered, all the boxes, and they would say like this box goes to truck 10, this box goes to truck 9, this box goes to truck 8, and I would have to find all the ones that went to my truck 10, grab the box. I had a scanner. I would scan the box, and I would pick up the box, turn around, walk into the back of the truck because the trucks were all lined up where the backs were open. And I'd walk in, and I would walk into the truck with the number 10 box, and then there was on each side of the truck there were um, two like layers of shelving, and I would have to find the correct shelving number on the box. It said box this one goes to truck 10, so it said truck 10, and then it would say on shelf number 1000. So what I would have to do is they would have in the truck 1000, 2000, 3000, 4000, 5000, 6000 on one side of the shelving, and then on the opposite 7000, 8000, 9000, 10,000. So if it said truck box for truck 10 number 1000, I would have to find that exact place on the inside the truck that it belonged at, and I would have to put it on that exact place, and then I turn around and do the same thing over and over again, grab the box, bring in the truck, and if it came down from the conveyor belt and it said box 9 or box 8 instead of my box, which was box 10 for my truck, I would have to grab the box and chuck it down, throw it across the conveyor belt to the person that was at like truck 8 so that it got to them. And then underneath the conveyor belt there was also another conveyor belt that was consistently moving, so I would take the box, and I've sometimes if I had to go like truck 20, I would put it underneath, and the conveyor belt would take the box down to truck 20, and I'd have to yell down the line so that the person knew it was coming underneath to them. 20 box, or like number 20's coming, and then they would know when to look under and grab it. And it was just this consistent thing of becoming efficient and just being an efficient person, of consistently nonstop working. There's no break time. I didn't take any breaks. I just consistently would, like, no break times, and it was like a good workout. I would come out of the day at the end of the day pretty much like sweating, and I felt like I really got a good workout in, and it was just interesting to see, to work in such a big like facility. There were 100, probably like 1,000 people, 1,000 people working at the place, and during that time between 3 o'clock and 10 o'clock, on different belts and doing different things throughout the workplace. We had like one manager. He would walk up and down the line, and he would make sure that everybody was getting things where they need to be. So he would come in every now and then and check my truck, and he would make sure that I didn't put the box that was supposed to be on shelf 1000, I didn't put it on shelf 9,000. And if I did that, he would say, "Hey, you're not, look, you messed up here. You have to put that back over there." Yeah, so it was just a consistent battle, and you get tired because you're working so hard, and you sometimes, it's like you could mess up. You could tell the people that had been there for a while, they knew exactly what they were doing. And after a while, after a few weeks, you start to get to figuring it out, and it becomes more easy. But yeah, that was like the last work experience I had, working at a job. So since then, I've been like just working on my different e-commerce businesses and whatnot. I started working when I was young. I started working like when I was like 16 years old. they what do you call it? A retail store, and I worked there for 5 years. That was my first job. Yeah, I was the first job I
Me
ever had.
too.
First job I ever had. It was like I always had to make money to get the things that I wanted, and I knew like I didn't like school. I never liked school, so it was like work was actually like an escape for me outside of school. I went to work. I was making money. People there, I felt like everybody there was nice, and like I had a team that I could talk to, and that was there to be a part of the team, and we are all working together to make the business better. And although the pay sucked, it was like really shitty, and I worked there for 5 years, and I was getting like 10-cent raises.
Wait, this is what I gotta ask. Like, when did you first start making?
The first I was making $8 an hour to start at and I worked there for
We're
5
at.
yeah, and I worked at the place for 5 years, and by the end of the 5 years I was making like $8.30 after 5 years of working there. And
Yeah, I made $8.50 working at a
ridiculous because
giant food stores.
they had me. I mean, I was doing so much. I was doing so much work, and I was doing so many good things for the company. And they were actually sending in like emails to corporate the higher ups and saying that Chadwick's doing such a great job. And eventually, they had me going to other stores and training people at other stores. And I found out I went to another store and I was training somebody, and they had just gotten hired after I had been working for 4 years at the company. And the person that just got hired was making 8.50 an hour, and I was only making 8.30 an hour after working for 4 years. And I was training the person, and he was making more than me when he first started his job. That was when I was like, shit, this whole corporate thing's a little messed up, and how the money kind of works with it and stuff. It's like I hear, it's ridiculous. It's just that was a ridiculous feeling to me to have happen. That was just one experience. I could talk about all of my job experiences. I've done plenty of other jobs, but I've been talking for a while, man. What was your first job?
My first job was working at a giant grocery store. Let me sit up here. Um, Literally, when I used to work at a giant grocery store, I started off as a bagger. Did that for like 2 3 years, and then they started to put me towards grocery, not grocery. My first thing I started to go through was produce. Doing all the bananas, starting to put shit out for them, starting to clothes for them, and I went to dairy, and then I also whenever my manager Bob was like, all right, yeah, now we we need you to start shutting down a bit more for us. So he asked me to stay later than what I should have, like saying like I used to get done at like 9 o'clock. I remember my mom and dad would ask me like, yo, son, when you coming home? I'd be like, whenever job's done, mom or dad. I mean like whenever that gets done, and I get home around like 10 or 11 o'clock at night, and someone had to work the next night. And still doing welding school on top of that shit. Like, even doing, like, my homework and everything, I was like, yeah, whenever I get done this shit. Doing that for 2 years straight during junior and senior year, I was like, well, shit. I still graduated top of my class in welding school, so I'm so proud of myself. When I was working, I went through deli, grocery, dairy. I closed at dairy a few times. I closed as produce a few times. I even did meat. I even did meat department once. That was probably my favorite department, to be honest with you. Um,
Yeah, meat. Yeah, I can see it.
deli,
I can see you as the
deli, I
meat guy.
sucked at. Deli, I sucked at though because I couldn't memorize all those stupid numbers saying, oh yeah, like, meat gets this, chicken gets that, or, all those stupid numbers that you gotta punch in a damn machine, being like, blah, 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 like, gotta memorize that shit. I'm like, yeah, I couldn't do it. My favorite department though was probably night grocery. Uh, I did that for probably about a year and a half to a year. And if I didn't go to Virginia, I would have gotten a lead position, to be honest with you. But I was stupid last because my brother was like nagging me, like, oh, come down to Virginia. And now our whole entire brother relationship with me and him are kind of just like fucked up, don't even talk anymore. And
Let me ask you this. So I was fortunate enough where I had my first paycheck and I was able to spend it on whatever I wanted. I was able to, I say my first page. Well, actually, it might have taken me two or three paychecks. I had to wait and save up, and I was able to get my first thing, buy something that I wanted, which was an Xbox 360. I was able to get an Xbox 360s with my first like kind of savings at the time. What was like something that you first bought when you first started getting paid? What was like one of the first things that you ever bought that was for you?
cell phone.
Nice.
And then after I got my cell phone, I made it last as long as I could, and I saved up my money and I bought my first Mitsubishi Eclipse.
Nice.
And that cost me about 2 grand or a grand, I can't remember. And especially with all the work that went through it,
Yep.
had to replace the bumper, the fender, and I replaced the lights in it. I even got a brand new paint job on it because my brother wrecked it. I fixed that from the bottom up though.
Yep. Yeah, I actually saw some photos of your Mitsubishi, and it was a nice looking car. It looked like kind of sporty a little bit. Um,
Thank you.
yep.
Girls were giving me comments like at the like skate park when I used to drive my buddy Joe Eberly, and they were all kind of like, "Yo, this car looks like a $10,000 car. How much you spent on this sucker?" I was like, honestly, I only spent like 1,500 or $1,000 on it, and they were like, "Dang, that looks like a $10,000 car." I was like, "Thanks, ladies," and all they were just like surrounded by it. I was like, "Damn, I should have took pictures."
Nice. Yeah, my first car was a Honda Accord with a V6 Honda Accord coupe. It was nice. I probably paid 7,000, like 7,000 for it around, and I was real happy with it. It was, man, that thing gives me memories. I would just go flying down the highway as fast as I could, just like stepping on it. I probably got it up to 135 miles an hour. I used to be kind of stupid, and I won't do that kind of thing anymore. But when I got my
Yo,
first.
man, have you been in races?
Yeah, me and my buddies used to race around. Me and my buddies, I swear, my one buddy and me, we were racing, and he told me we were both going like 130 on the highway. He told me he got pulled over by a cop behind. He was riding behind me. He said he got pulled over, and I didn't even see him get pulled over. But I guess I was going so fast that the cop didn't even get me, so I got away with it. Apparently,
Wow.
that time. Yeah, and the funny thing is, his parents were both police officers, so he said he was able to talk to them, and he didn't get into too much trouble apparently with the whole situation. But driving to don't it's like a big deal. Like, you can get in a lot of trouble for driving that fast, and it's also dangerous. I could have killed someone.
I'm
So
surprised I've never been caught.
yeah, it's
Literally, when I first got my car, driving that shit to a giant, like all my younger friends that were like younger than me when I first got my license, like at 18, got this car, built up from this down, scratched up, and they were all like, "Yo, man, I want to race you." Like people are like their shitty ass trucks and me like, "I want to race you," and blah blah blah. And they were a little too tricky because like they were like, "Oh shit, he's gonna win." I was like, "Whenever you want to race, I'm down to race." And when it comes to the game, they said no. But like literally, like I remember going to church a couple of times with my buddy. I literally raced a Mustang with a V8 Charger in it, and literally right when the light turned green, I literally just
yep.
throwing it down straight the fucking road, and I beat that sucker to that tight end on 202, just going Just quickly cut that guy straight off. It's
Yeah,
like, yeah, fuck you, fucker.
that's funny. 202, man. That's the place to go fast. So many
Oh
cars.
yeah, man.
That's the place you gotta watch out for cars going fast. Um, yeah, it was great, man. So we did our drawings. We talked about stuff for a while here. Where are we going? We gonna uh, give each other another challenge with some drawings or something? What do you want to give each other another challenge for next podcast here?
Yeah, sure, I'm down. I'm about ready to wrap it up.
All right, I challenge you to draw a draw your first car, which was the Mitsubishi Racer. Uh, I challenge you to draw that, except for make it look uh make it look kind of like a more of a like a really like a race car. Make it look really racy is my challenge to you.
Oh, I can easily do that. I'll put like a top cat on that shit. I'll make it look like it had Lamborghini doors on it.
Yep.
Yeah, you got it, bro.
Uh,
I kind of challenge the same thing with your Accord.
uh, Give me something. Give me something different. You're stealing my idea here. Give me. I mean, give
All
me a.
right. Um. Hmm. I don't know. I gotta come up with something good now. Hmm. Hmm. Damn. I really don't know.
Think about all the things we talked about on this podcast here tonight. Like, think of something related, possibly. I just thought of the car because we were talking about it. What was something else? Like not or
How
or something
about
else.
how about drawing Evil Knievel, but me in the picture?
All right, that's cool. I'll do it. Deal. All right, let's close this out. I'll close this out. This is Chadwick. That's American Meck, and we are Pedal to the Metal podcast. Pedaltothemetal.io coming soon. We got more to come. The best is yet to come from us. And cheers to you, Meck. Peace out, everybody. Enjoy your evening.
Peace out to y'all.
Yep.
We all love you.